Hello and welcome to my new channel. Today I'll be talking about the shilling system, or perhaps more formally called the pre-decimal currency. You probably heard of shillings before, but you probably don't know what a shilling is, or how the system worked, so today we'll be looking at that. So the system is fairly simple. There are 12 pence in a shilling, and 20 shillings in a pound. The system really is as simple as that, which of course, despite being simple, is very different from modern currency systems, which for the most part are decimal systems. We have one big unit, and then you have the decimals of that unit. For example, modern British currency, the Great British Pound, which has a decimal system, which is 1, and then 2 decimal points after it. The euro works the same, and the US currency also works like this. In terms of coinage, the smallest coin would be a farthing. A farthing is a quarter of a penny. There was also the halfpenny, and of course, the penny. As you can see on screen, the penny was a fair bit larger than it is today, with some other coins to compare it to. Any currency higher than this was made out of a precious metal, that is, before 1947, with there being shilling coins, there being florins, a florin being 2 shillings, and being crowns and half crowns, a crown being 5 shillings, and therefore a half crown being 2 shillings and 6 pence. As you can see, some of these coins were fairly large, and this is because these were made out of precious metals. So when you're buying something at a shop, it's less so that you're trading numbers with the person behind the counter, but more so that you're trading a precious metal with them that they could then trade elsewhere, which is fairly different to the modern system of coinage, where the number is what's valuable and not the physical coin itself. Also on screen is a sovereign. A sovereign is a £1 coin. The sovereign is a gold coin rather than a silver coin, like the others. And this example on screen, the image on the far left, has a different design from usual, as it is a special design one for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, but that's the normal size of one. They usually have the design that the crown has on the bottom right. And there's also the guinea, which is a pound and 1 shilling, which is a gold coin which is very slightly bigger than the sovereign. Fortunately, I don't have a guinea, so I can't show you a picture of one compared to other coins, but in size terms, very similar to the sovereign. Before we discuss what happened to the system, there are some more images of coins here. So first you can see the 3 pence coin, which is a fairly small coin. It's a fair bit smaller than our smallest coins currently in circulation today from pretty much most nations. Then you've also got the 6 pence, which is still a bit bigger, but even those are still smaller than the 1 pence coin that's still in circulation today. Of course, this is because these are made out of silver, and therefore the value printed on them is the value of the metal inside it. And then you can see some coins on the right, which we'll discuss in a minute. So what happened to the system? Well, in 1918, the sovereign stopped being produced. The sovereign was an expensive coin to produce as it was made out of gold. It wasn't pure gold, but it had a very high gold content, meaning that by the end of the First World War, with Britain being in a lot of debt from the war, it needed to find a way to cut costs, and removing the minting of coins in gold at the time seemed an effective way to save money. And then to continue on from this, in 1920, the amount of silver in the coinage was reduced from 92.5% silver to 50% silver. This, of course, just like with the sovereign, saved money on coinage. However, there'd be another World War, and after this World War, silver was no longer in any of our currency. The coins may still circulate, but if you have a 3 pence coin that's made out of brass, and you have a 3 pence coin made out of silver, you can probably guess which one's worth more, which means a lot of these silver coins got taken out of circulation by people who are either collecting them for their value, which would be above what's printed on the coin now, or people use them as scrap metal to make jewellery out of. However, this wasn't the end of the system, as the shilling was still in use until 1971. In 1971, the end of the system came with decimalization, which is the change to the modern system, which will bring us back to the image that's on the right-hand side. That is of the 5 and 10 pence coins, which were introduced just before 1971 to help the transition into it with some coinage that could circulate that's already ready for use. These coins, however, were too big and later on changed to smaller coins, as you can see them next to their modern counterparts, which are ever so slightly smaller. An interesting fact about Decimalisation Day is that this happened as well in Ireland at the same time, because the Irish currency was pegged to the British currency 1-to-1, meaning they also used the shilling system until 1971. And with the currency decimalized, this marked the end of the shilling system. But why did decimalization happen? With money having no relation to the value of metal, it didn't really make sense to have a system that represented that. Instead, it made more sense to have a simple system that was quick to use and easy to work with other currencies around the world, as many other currencies by this point were decimalized, and therefore it would be easier to trade internationally with British currency if it was in the same format as international currencies. And you may ask, were there any advantages to this pre-decimal system? And the answer is really no. The system was made for precious metals, and once they were gone, it was not terribly useful. Sure, the pre-decimal system was better divisible. For example, you can divide a pound by 3, and with modern decimalized currency, you cannot divide the pound by 3. However, losing the ability to divide it by 3 doesn't seem terribly useful in a modern system where a penny is not worth much anyway. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any suggestions on how I could change my videos to make them better, this is obviously my first one, please let me know. If you have any topic ideas, also, it would be great to know. And in the future, I do hope to make longer videos, but I thought this would be quite an easy and quick one to make for my first video, to sort of test the waters, see what you guys think. Thank you and goodbye.